And this is something I see a lot. Like, there's so many incredible women out there doing incredible work, like working with energy, but not having the pleasure queen and not having the shadow practices. Like, I'm in shock. Like, the amount of conversations I have with women who are like healers, and I talk to them about shadow work, and they're like, well, what's that? Or, oh no, I don't want to look at those parts of myself. It's like, if you're going to be working with energy, like, you need to transmute that shadow, because if you don't, you're going to be passing that energy on to your clients, and your nervous system is going to be taking a hit, because you're going to be being triggered by more in your reality. So, Shadow Queen, let's come on to Shadow Queen. So who is the Shadow Queen? So she is the dark feminine. She is the wild feminine. And she knows that the way to the light, the way to the whole, love and light we get, is through the dark, through her shadows, through the parts of herself that she has pushed down for so long. And so many of us as children are told, like, we mustn't be angry, and we mustn't have rage, and we mustn't, we must be quiet. I mean, for goodness sake, like, me and my sister, when we were little, we were in a cafe and we were being really quiet and well behaved, and a lady came up to us and gave us £1 coin each and said, you are the quietest girls in here, have £1 coin for an ice cream. So I was like literally rewarded financially for being quiet and keeping my mouth shut. So this stuff gets like ingrained in us from such a young age. And when I was going, I really needed to step into my Shadow Queen. So I'd gone through my divorce. I had loads of clients that I was working with in 2021 that had started to fall away. And the reason they'd fallen away was because they were ready. Like, they'd made huge shifts, and they were ready to move on. They were ready to kind of spread their wings and fly away. But because I was going through like a really tough year, like with my divorce, we then had a neighbour who was just horrific. It made it really unsafe for us to be in our home. Going through, like, plus all the trauma bond stuff that I was then going through as well. So 2022 was a really tough year, and I reached the end of 2022 and I was just like, what the actual fuck am I doing? Like, I'm just done with this shit. Like, I'm done with it. I'm struggling. I don't understand like what's going on with me, like how I'm feeling, like, and I just had all this rage and all this anger, and it would come out like it would come out just before my period, in perfect alignment with the hormones, and I just had all this rage, and it was like, this is wrong, you're not meant to feel like this. And all these shadows came to the surface of, good girls don't get angry, good girls don't have rage. Wow, think about the effect you're having on other people. Like, all of these shadows came right up to the surface. And what was actually happening was, I had been through a lot. Like, it was, for me, it was kind of like, I just had to keep going and like keep showing up. It was kind of survival. Like, when I had to leave my marriage and I had nowhere to live, and then I lived in holiday homes. So, and the way I was treated and the way I'd been treated for years, and like, being, parented as a neurotypical child, and I was neurodivergent, like all of that. Anyway, all of that came right out at the end of 2022, and I was like, oh my God. And I basically just needed to give it space. I just needed space, just needed a voice, that inner child, that inner teen in me, my inner teen as well. Like, do not forget your inner teen. We're going to be doing, in Quantum Femme, we're going to be doing shadow work on inner child and inner teen. Like, that is so important, like with the hormones, with the rage, because that's when our inner teen, like, that's when our hormones are coming online, and we're trying to make sense of like our cycles, and these strong emotional reactions that are coming out in us. So our inner teen is just as important as our inner child work as well. So do not forget your inner teen.